All right, today's the day. I'm going to make a video on showing you how I converted my 74 Honda XL350 headlights and taillights to 12 volts. The headlight worked, but I didn't have much luck with all the old incandescent bulbs, so I ride my bike on a lot of back roads, mountain roads, fire roads, things like that. So I decided that I'd go ahead and upgrade in case I get stuck in the night, and so that I can be seen. But I went with 12 volt 6-inch LED light bars on the front, and just a little brake light and tail light. And I want to go ahead and do away with the turn signals, because I don't really ride on the highway or anything, so if I need turn signals, I use my hands. I'm going to go through it and show you how I did it. It's pretty simple. Here we go. Okay, so I have points. This is a 6-volt system. I still have the points. I did not convert anything over as far as ignition goes to 12 volts. I'll show you what I did with the battery. Let me go ahead and say also that I'm just going to do a rough video here. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So it's not a perfectly professional video or anything. Just going to show you what I did. Here we go. Okay, so for the battery, I went to Walmart and I got a rechargeable 6-volt lamp battery, like a camping battery. It was $11. Figured it would be durable and there's no acid or anything. So it's 6 volts. So that's my power source. Here it is. Just take the wire off your batteries with a washer and a spring and a nut. Put the nut right in the spring and tighten it down. So that's my positive on that spring. That's my negative. And they're secure, they're tight. I've been riding it like this and without any issues. It actually gives it some kind of vibration resistance, so I like it. $11 at Walmart. If you're missing a battery strap, my kids, they bring home these things all the time, these little wristbands, like rubber band things. They work great for that, so use that. I do have a switch here, which the original, whoever had this bike before me put the switch here, not because if I want to turn it off, I can turn it off. I just leave it on. So basically, when I turn that on, it sends 6 volts power up to the front, and I'll show you where that wire is. Okay, so when I did this, I decided to go ahead and just remove the headlight assembly and also remove the taillight assembly and all of my turn signals. So I went ahead and took all that off first, and I went ahead and just got out the wires that I needed here for this project. Well, my phone's pausing here. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, my phone is having issues, but anyway, all right, so okay, so here we are. That little device right there, that is something that's called a step-up converter. So it takes the 6 volts in, and then 6 to 11 volts in, and it outputs 12 volts, 4 amps. Okay, it's got 4 wires. So you've got your in, which is, you can see it's all labeled here, and your out. So all I did was take my input, which would be my black wire. So just take your meter, turn on your key, like your headlights would be on. Find the hot wire when you turn on your key, and so that's going to be, for me, it was my black wire out of the factory harness. I took my black and then just hooked up my input on my red. For my ground, I went ahead and used the existing grounding wires, so that when I took the headlight off, I took the bolts with these ground. You can see them right here. They got the ground built onto the nut, and I reused that. I just relocated those back here where the turn signals were. So I've got ground here from my ground from the battery. All right, and the only thing I really need that for is to ground this anyway, but I've got extra grounds here. So went ahead, so I tied that ground in. That negative power in ground goes to your battery ground. The red positive in goes to your hot wire coming. When you turn on your key, you should have 6 volts coming from ground to mine. It's the black wire, so it's actually down in here somewhere. It looks like mine looks like this right here. It had a little jumper on it, but that's it. That's the original hot wire, and it's got I got a little jumper here that I connect to my ground. So out the other side, I've got my negative and my positive out. So what you do is you just, when you connect it up, turn it on the key, check your voltage coming out with your meter. You should have 12 volts. What I did was went ahead and I'm going to use, since I don't have turn signals on the front or the rear, I'm just going to use my existing lights here, or my turn signal wiring to get power back to the back. So I believe orange is the right side, could be the left side, I don't remember. But this takes power to the back right here, and I'll show you that in the back. And then also, I believe it's I use the brown with the white stripe, and that takes power to the back also. And I'll hook up my my brake light switch and my tail light through that. And then the ground that I used to get ground back there is, yes, that's what I did. I used my orange is my hot, and that takes power to the back, and I used my brown to get power, to get my ground to the back out of this device here. So I'll plug in my black wire here into my brown, and I'll plug in my yellow wire 12 volts out into my orange. And that also, this multi-connector that's here already allows me to tie in these right here. So you just, you take your red as your positive and your black as your negative, and that's connected to my light bar. So I just mounted the light bar right where the headlight would have mounted, and I've got a cover and stuff that I'm going to put on it. But so that's how you tie your lights into this. You just use the existing connections. That makes a place for everything connect, and it also carries the power to the back underneath the seat for your power, your lights in the back, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so around the back here, obviously, I've removed my tail light section. It's all right here. I have it all. If I ever want to reinstall it, I didn't have to cut any factory wiring harness. I've got everything here. So it's all here if I want it, but I probably won't because it doesn't work anyway. It could work, but I don't want to mess with it. Anyway, these lights actually are an upgrade. I'm not really into the trying to make it all be original. I'd rather be safe. I'm on a budget here working. You understand that, right? So so we got the tail light removed. I just attached my tag right here to the existing holes with the tail light mounted up, and remove the turn signals. I did have to drill a couple of holes here to get this mounted. This is a brake light tail light combo, so the wires just go right through the bottom, and I just made a little hole right here and brought it up under the seat and around. And this is this here's the loom that brings all the power back from the front. So in here I've got my orange wire and my brown wire. What I did was I just tied in my my black wire
from my tail light, tied it into the brown, which is my ground, and then I took a little connect. I use these little. I got a pack of these right here off of Amazon. They were like $10, and they're like they fit with Honda, so they've got all of the insulators and connectors that you need to hook directly up, and you just crimp them on, and they hold well. So back here we take the black wire off of my tail light, which is my ground, and tied it into my brown wire, because my brown wire from up front is my ground. And then I have my orange wire here from my tail lights, which is my hot now. And I made a wire to come off of that, and just made a little jumper. I got my little tail brake light switch here, which normally routes over here and plugs in over here by the battery. There's some connectors. You just disconnect that, and you reroute it right up the back here and bring it right over here, so that you can bring power into it and continue this the line out for the brake light. So you just take your if you know how switches work, you got power in, and then when you close the switch, you got power out. So you've got you just take your power in, which is off of looks like it's off of let me see. All right, it's right here. So I just made a little. I had to make a little double. So I made one where it connected my ground, connected in, and then it came out, and it connected into the ground of. No, this is the hot. This is the hot. So it connected into the tail light. So this is just a power. This is my power from up front, and then there's a splitter. I just made two wires coming out, and then one goes to the switch, and then one goes to the tail light. So the tail light's on, and when you hit the brake light switch, tail light switch comes on. Tail light comes on for the brake light. So it all works using existing wiring. You don't have to cut anything. You just use those little connectors, and they tie right into the original OEM setup. And as far as my turn signals, they're just not. They're still there, but the wires are not connected to anything. I just have them safely tucked away, and I'll probably just leave them on there. I may remove that if I'm not using it. All these lights up here, like I said, I typically ride during the day, so these lights are for safety for me, so that I can see and other people can see me. All this right here is still 6 volt. I did not convert any of these light bulbs over into 6 volt or into 12 volts. So I'm going to look into that. I really don't ride at night, so I'm not really worried about it. This is just a good, better than what I had lighting system on the bike anyway, because I was riding it and the lights didn't work very good. At all, hardly. I got caught one time at nighttime and I couldn't see. So I've tested these out and they work really good. Hopefully this device right here doesn't fail, because this is what is powering my lights here and my tail lights. If that device fails, then I'll have to replace it. It's $12. The lights were $20, and the tail, they're Nightlight is the brand. They're on Amazon. And these are the spotlights. They're not the fog floodlight. And then this also was on Amazon, and it was $20, I believe. So I've got about $10 for the connectors, $20 for the lights, $20 for the tail light. It's $50. $11 for the battery, $60, and I have working bright upgraded lights. All right, that's what I've been up to. It's been over a year since I've made any videos, and the reason is because I have a farm now, and I don't have a lot of time to work on the bikes. I still have the old Goldwing in the corner there, so maybe one day, who knows. I've got a XS1100. I believe it's a 77
7, and then there's a Yamaha XJ350. I didn't do nothing with that. So this is my bike, my project that I've wanted for a long time, that I ride, and I love this bike, and it's the one that I ride. So anyway, I guess Old Wing Barn is now in a barn. So here's my barn, and these are my old wings, and they're in my barn. So thanks for watching, and be safe. And it was a fun project. I've worked on this motorcycle quite a bit, just gone through getting everything working and everything, and it's a cool little bike. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. One other little thing I'm going to do, I actually got this off Amazon. This is just a number plate. The round ones were kind of big. They were like 11 or 12 inches in diameter, I think, 10 inches. This here is 7 inches in diameter, and it's a 7 by 11, I believe. I'm going to somehow put this number plate probably behind here, trim it up a little bit, fit it in there, and it will hide all of my wires and all that stuff. And then my lights will just be in front of it, so it'll just be like, like that, but you'll see the lights, and that'll just cover it. It'll just be black. That's my solution for now. $10. So thanks for watching. Okay, so I got it all hooked up here. So what I did was I took my main harness, which is right here, and this is bringing in all my wires. It comes up, and I made a little loom. You can see a little plastic loom back there, and I just put all the wires inside the loom that need to be protected, and then only separated out the wires that I needed and brought those up front. So here you can see I've got my power out, positive out into my blinker wires that takes power to the back. So my orange is my hot, and it powers up, power to the back. This direction takes it to the back, and then I hooked in my positive wire leads from each of these lights into that. And I did the same thing over here with the ground. So my brown takes my ground to the back. It ties into my ground out of the controller here, converter, and then this just is my ground for my lights. So it's a nice clean install, and I have extra grounds back here. I just kind of tuck those back. They're there, and then I'll end up kind of tucking everything behind there and figuring out a good way to get my cover to go behind here to hide all that stuff. And then it'll just be I don't know, I might cut holes in this and then just do it like that, and the lights will just poke through, or it might actually go behind it. I don't know yet. But that's how you do it. And then when you put those things together with those little connectors, they fit right in the factory Honda connectors, and you just take a small screwdriver and just push them all the way in. That way they don't come out. And when you clamp them down, all you got to do is strip the wire and lay it in there, and kind of make sure it's in there nice and snug, and just kind of clamp down on it, and they're solid. They don't let go. And then so that's it. This is just zip tied to the horn bracket. I got my horn there, horn mount. I just zip tied that on there. I figured that'd be the easiest way to do that. And then I only have the wires up here that I need. This little jumper thing was already on there. I didn't do that. That's just my black connector. I had a little jumper wire hooked to my headlight. So it might have had something to do with that little switch that was added in the back. I don't know. All I know is when I turned the key on, that was my hot wire, and that's what I tied into to power the converter here. So thanks for watching, and have fun riding, working on your bike. The little thing I got here is just a little bag. I got it from Walmart, and it's a few bucks. It's a little perfect for a little tool pouch, and it zips up. I have the original case, but they got the little flip over with the zip, with the snap, and the tools. It fits right in there. This one will fit in there. You got to kind of wedge it in there. And then another thing is just use
those little clamps that I showed you on the battery. Works perfectly right here. Those little rubber band bracelet things holds it right in there, and that will fit in there, and the seat will shut in that rubber band. And then you got your toolkit. I've got everything that I need in there. Yeah, so when I drilled these holes for this, and I had to put the screws in, they came with little washers. The screws are a little bit too short, so actually just did away with the washer, and you can see it right here. I actually put a little bit of Loctite, so I didn't have to over tighten into the bottom of that. So put a little Loctite on that to hold that so it doesn't vibrate and come loose. Here's what it looks like, just kind of stuffed in behind there. I kind of was able to flex it and kind of hide all the wires. I mean, you can see a couple here. I'll tuck those back up under there, but that might be one solution. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, that's not a bad look. I mean, it does look a little bit funny from the side. It's kind of like a little windshield. I could just attach it right here and right there. And then later, if I want to get out the Dremel and cut it out to maybe put it in front and slide right over top of those lights so they shine through, probably look pretty cool too. You can see everything's protected up behind there. This is what it looks like from here. So, all right, we'll see. It's always a work in progress, right? So I've got these little cable ties, or like Velcro strips, they hold cables and stuff. And I'm thinking I'll use those instead of zip ties, and I can use those to tie that on down there. That way that's removable if I need to take it off. Okay, so I decided to go with the zip ties after looking into the straps. I think just drill a little hole right into the plate right here and just zip tie it right to the mounting bracket was my easiest thing. And then obviously if I need to get in there, I can just cut the zip tie and replace it. Well, that's what it looks like. It's got a new cover, it's got new headlights, new taillights, and it might change again. So here it is, everything's hooked up. Got the LEDs on, which are plenty bright for what brighter than what was on there from the factory. I got my little fairing there, and then here's the tail light. Got your tail lights on, and then you hit the brake switch, and let's see here, make it work. There we go, it works. Yeah, so that's it. So here's a little video with a little bit better lighting, so you can see what it looks like. Like I said, I may look into making those lights work, but for now, don't need them. I would have liked to mount these running across from here to here. I think it would have looked better, but it was just easier to bolt them here. I may come up with a bracket so I can flip them that direction, which I might like that better. But that looks pretty cool, kind of like tracker-like. All right, that's it.